Well, here we go again. What's up, guys? Well, if you saw my last video, got quite a bit done on the old girl here. Had been working on the door, working a bit on the door frame, and of course along here. So I think this morning, first thing I'm going to do is just dive straight into this panel here, start getting it sorted. Now, one thing I do need to address is that it's had something's impacted it, I think, and but I need to figure out how to get this straight. And yeah, because it's actually stretched the metal there, so I need to work on that a little bit. But yeah, then the rest of it's just sanding. A couple of little spots here and there to fill, but nothing much. A couple of little dents that I may be able to tap out, but so yeah. Well, this is all nicely sanded down now. It's just got to be washed off, but it'll be ready for paint. However, while I was in the process, I decided, you know what, let's just hit these seat backs and get these all done. And yeah, I'm halfway across that one at the moment. I've had to get out of the van because there's a lot of dust in there, so I've come out for a mask. But yeah, I've got all of it around here done. Real light is yeah, I need to do some work on that, so I'll only be painting up to about this corner here. It's had some welding done down there, and it's hideous, so I need to grind that weld off down there and redo it. But yeah, otherwise, that rain, that doesn't matter. I'm inside, so kick that extension over. But yeah, overall, it's coming along there. Should have that done and this all washed down again and ready for paint, hopefully by tomorrow. Finally, we are done. Now, it's a little cautionary tale. If you are at any point contemplating using house paint on a vehicle that is probably going to become a classic, just be aware. At some point in the future, someone is going to have to sand that off, and they're going to be cursing you and every firstborn in your family for the next 5 generations. Trust me. Anyway, now that my little rant is over, yeah, I've got all that cleared off now. Couple little bits to hit by hand on the bottom there. Actually, I might get in with drum sand if I don't know yet, but the vast majority of it's done. Anyway, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come outside here and I'm going to hit these just to get these sanded off and prepped. As a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. That up the front I've already done. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. This has been a long day at this. I came out here, it was about 8:15 this morning, and it's now getting on for 3. Other than maybe an hour on this, the rest of the time has been spent on those seat riggers, those bulkheads. Yeah, I've tried using the hot air gun, but the hot air gun was taking it off. But the problem is you're on metal, and it was just taking so long to heat each little section up that it was easier just going at it with the 2 sanders. And obviously I did have a mask on because I don't know how old that paint is, so it could be old enough to have lead in it or anything. So, but it's all done. Let me get this outside finished off. I'll hit those lower edges by hand, and then it's just a matter of getting it all washed out. Well, there we go once again. All nicely sanded, all nicely washed down, ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to pack up for tonight, let all this dry, and then tomorrow get a nice coat of primer on there. So yeah, all in all, a good day's work. Oh, it's morning. Appears to have been raining all night, but everything's nice and dry here, so I think before I do anything, pull anything out, first thing I'm going to do is go over this panel wipe. Oh, we got wind as well. Great. Oh, we are getting there. Fortunately, I've got a bit of a sag down there, but I'll leave that till it's dry. It's easy to sand out. But yeah, we are making progress. I've given this interior another coat of paint, and the inside of the door. I need to let this dry so I can flip the door over, then I'll give the door another coat. But God, it's all looking a lot better now, isn't it? This is making such a difference. It's amazing what a little bit of paint will do. Anyway, I'm going to take a break, have a coffee, let this harden off, and then we'll get back to it. Anyway, I've done round to this back quarter here. As I said yesterday, I'm not going all the way around just yet. I need some repair to make down there. You can see it. It's an ugly repair. I just want to get rid of it, do it properly. I might take that door off just to give better access, etc. But yeah, that's an awful repair. That I don't like that at all. So I want to get that sorted out before I go any further with the paint. But yeah, right now it's one of those situations where it's like do a bit, stand around waiting for half an hour, do a bit, wait for half an hour, so on and so forth. And it's, you know, it's a little bit frustrating, but not a lot we can do about it. One thing I will note though, this U-Pol paint, is spraying a lot nicer in this gun, this budget Sealy gun. It is actually laying it down better than the Isopon, but not entirely sure why, but hey, whatever, it works, so I'm not going to argue with it. Well, the wind's kicking up a bit more, but it should be enough to get this door done. Obviously I've got the underside screw. It's sat for half an hour, so I'll get this top side done. I'm probably going to call it a quits for today. This all needs overnight to harden off, and also I need to get back on this section here where I've got a couple of runs. I won't do anything with that until tomorrow. I mean, there's no point in touching that, it'll just make a mess. So, and we'll get this door done. Got a couple of bits about somewhere. These side sections that I had kicking about. I'm gonna grab them out. I'll give them a clean down. I'll hang them on the frame here, and I'll give them a quick shoot as well. So, just basically any paint that's left in the gun, I'll finish off on them. So, what have I done with them? They're about somewhere anyway. I'll find them. But I've hit the door with panel wipe. It's I'll leave that to flash off for 5-10 minutes. By the time that's done, I'll have found the other bits. So yeah, nice thick coat of eyeball on there now. So next stage with this is like the van. It's got to sit overnight. I may actually give this a second coat tomorrow. Same with that door and down that side. Obviously I've got a sand down there, I've mentioned that several times. I did have a little bit left in the gun, so I just kind of just shot around there just to use it up. They found those pieces. I really need to prep them more, so I will do them this afternoon and have them ready for tomorrow. Well, actually looks bright on camera, but it's a very dull start of the day. However, it's supposed to stay dry, so I'm going to start flattening this panel off, especially down there where I got a few runs. Whole point of the high build is to get a nice smooth surface, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Well, there we go. I've been working on this for a while now. Obviously I've broken through in a few places, but that's okay. The whole point is getting this nice and flat, and that is basically what I'm doing. What I'm going to do shortly is there's one little tiny bit I need to fill, and that is just there. I just cannot get enough high build in there. It's a tiny little dent, so a small amount of filler in there. Let that cure, sand it, and I'll give this panel a complete wash. And I'll work my way. I've hit a little bit up there, a little bit up there, but I need to get in there. I had to sand that by hand. Same around there. I need to do all the way around there. And yeah, rather than using the conventional filler in there, I'm actually using this, which is basically it's a finishing putty, and it's good for really fine details, such as that little divot there. So yeah, I'll get some of this mixed up, get it in there, and I'll be able to sand it off just nicely. So I spent most of the morning sanding and smoothing and sanding and smoothing. I have gone along the whole length of the roof on this side. Went down all the door pillars and all the little nooks and crannies and what have you, and worked my way all the way around to the front here. Gone over this entire front end. So again, I'm going to leave this overnight to dry, and there are some areas on here that I do need to hit again, so I'm going to give this entire front end another coat of high build. Here though, I think I'm done, at least up to that seam there. So what I'm probably going to do tomorrow is give this one light coat of high build. See how that lays down. If that lays down okay and I'm happy with it, then once it's dry I'm going to hit it with the epoxy sealer, and then that's this whole panel basically done. Also going to do along the roof line there with the high build. Just on this side, basically from about there, about here, near the window, along to this front edge here, and a little bit across the middle. But the main thing I want to do is I want to get this whole front end and everything ready basically for epoxy. And of course my plan is still to do all the door frames and everything this week at least. So that's where I'm up to right now, and I'm at one of those situations where again it's only about 1 and I need to stand around and wait until this all dries off. So been out here for a while this morning, and yeah, I've got everything, another coating on. So this should be the last coating of high build. I've also hit the front again here. So next step after this, I will, once this is cured, This will all be hit with 320 grit, obviously washed down again, and then it'll be hit with the epoxy sealer. So, been out here for a while this morning, and yeah, we've got everything and another coating on. So this should be the last coating of high build. I've also hit the front again here. So next step after this, I will, once this is cured, this will all be hit with 320 grit, obviously washed down again, and then it'll be hit with the epoxy sealer. Then we'll be ready to do the inside the door frames and everything. But overall, it's getting there slowly, but it's getting there. Biggest issue is that it's not the warmest. I mean, it's still warm enough to paint because this is I've got a low temperature hardener for the paint there. So the trouble is every time I've got to wash it down, it basically takes overnight to dry. But yeah, she's looking quite presentable there. Obviously I've only done along the edge of the roof, I haven't done right up. What I will do with the roof though is when I come to actually finish the rest of the roof off, I've got that metal section along there to repair, so I will do that. But when I come to paint it, I'll actually get up inside, well, I'll have to probably move the van forward, get up inside, pop my head out of the top, mainly so I can get down into all of these gutters and everything, make sure I've got a really good coating of paint in there. I have actually gone along with an encapsulator and done the entire gutter on this side, but you know, it's always, you know, little too much is better than a little too little, because the actual roof itself, I think the roof sits inside the gutter. Yeah, like for the pop-up section and everything, I think it sits inside the gutter, so I just want to make sure it's all nicely solid and not going to go anywhere or do anything stupid. But yeah, that's it for the moment. Waiting game again. I think what I am going to do though is I'm going to go around and I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is remove this engine cover. And what I may do is I may actually take the engine cover down the side of the building away from the paint, and I can start sanding on that and get that all prepped up ready. So, best laid plans and all that. From what I can gather, you can't remove this. I have searched online, I have searched all the workshop manuals, I've got Haynes and Autobook manuals, and nowhere anyway can I find any mention of how to remove this. And when you take a really close look at it, it looks like the hinges are welded on, so only other option I can think of is, I wonder if we can tap the pins out. Because I really like to take this off. See, because all these bits around here, I want to get in and get them all cleaned out, and same over there. Yeah, let me get I think I've got some tiny punchers. I think I've got one that small. Let me see if I can just tap this pin out. Yeah. This was not anticipated. Okay, so I'm going to give you all the wind. The wind's really kicking up at the moment. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit more research, and I found an Australian guy who was taking one of these doors off. And up there, right about there on his, the hinges are screwed on. These ones aren't. There's nothing behind there, is there? Nope. And I have a feeling one of the problems he had was that the screws were stripped out and he had to drill them out. Now, I'm wondering if the same thing has happened to this at some point in its life, and rather than messing about trying to sort out the screws and everything, where are we at? Yeah, I don't know how I can see that. Focus. Yeah. This is that the hinges have been welded on. I think these hinges have been welded back on into place. Yeah, because is that a screw hole there? I'm trying to get the camera in so I can see. I need to get a light in here. These hinges are different to his though. I think the hinges have been welded back in, yeah. I don't know how well you can see that, look, just there. So, I'm not going to cut the hinges off. That is a can of worms I really don't want to go into. I know it's going to be a pain to work around, but yeah, that's not something I want to get into. I did try tapping the pins out and they are just not moving, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to work around this. Great. Anyway, that's not the main reason I'm here. The main reason I'm here is that God, that is this is the new piece. They put a new piece in here, but then they've just snot welded it. It's just, it's hideous. It's offensive. I mean, I know I don't claim to be the best welder in the world, but if you can't weld, nice and clean, then at least learn to grind. I know a lot of people like that. They're not very good welders, but they're really good with a grinder. So, you know, same there. I know it's in the engine compartment, but I want all this snot cleaned up. I just don't like it. And whatever they've done here, I don't know what they've done here. I don't know what that is, but I want it all cleaned up. So I've got most of it ground out there now. As you can see, it's not exactly the best. I haven't even, you see in there, they haven't even welded up to there. So that is just nasty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get this out, just put some fresh metal in. That's going to be the easiest, rather than messing about trying to fix whatever this is meant to be. So yeah. So we're all cut out there, and I've got a piece made to go in. Obviously it's not sat in correctly there, it's just stuck in place at the moment while I was getting some measurements, but yeah, I'll get that welded in, get it filled, and then I may as well just sand this complete rear corner. Well, there we go, got a light skimming of filler on there. I'll leave that for now, let that harden off. I may actually, while I'm waiting on that, I may come over and start hitting this with the 320. I want to get this nice and smooth, so yeah, I mean, may as well use the time up. Yeah, I'm going to have to leave this till tomorrow. I'm trying to push ahead with it, but see how it's beating up there on the sanding disc? That's because the paint isn't quite hard enough, so yeah. It's got a nice edge all the way down there now. It's all solid metal rather than that scabby bit of whatever it was. Vast improvement there. So the only thing I've got left to do now is make a tab for the light. there's little few little spots in there just to make this a little bit more secure, and then yeah, that's the back end up to this quarter all complete. I can wash her down, and tomorrow hopefully it won't be this windy, so I can get in with some epoxy. Well, there we have it. That is about all I can really do on this today. I am going to wash it all down, ready for tomorrow. It is supposed to be a lot calmer day. So, yeah, I'm just going to pack everything away, give it a wash down, and then just call it for today. I mean, it is getting on for about 1:30ish. So, I haven't got a great deal of light left anyway, so, you know, it seems a good time to pack it all up. Well, a new morning, and it's windy here. Hopefully you can move me over this. But anyway, I've hit this panel to 320. Found one little low spot there, and I did notice a couple of little low spots there. So, got them filled. Going to leave that to dry, and then I'll finish blocking this down. But that panel there is, other than sanding that, is basically now ready for the epoxy sealer. Now, I'm going to start, next one is up here. I'll be hitting that with the 320, and then of course I'll be working my way around to the front here. So one thing I'm doing is I'm working my way around any slight imperfections. I'm using like a very fine, basically it's a scratch filler, just you know, because it's easier to do it at this stage than it is when I'm actually putting base and clear on it. So I'm still continuing to work away here, still waiting on that drying. Meanwhile, I've hit this entire front end now, right across to about there. When I come to epoxy it, I'll epoxy up to this headlight, and the reason for that is I am going to be doing some more work, especially down there where we're at. I need to fix that step, so I don't want to do too much here because I'm probably going to end up damaging it when I start welding and grinding down there. So I figure what I'll do is up to this point, then when I turn it round and start working on the captain's side, then I'll finish this front section off. We are moving along. We've got that back end all primed again today. Actually had heat on it, so it's a lot better. It's paint laid down nicely, didn't get any runs in it, and so that'll be left overnight to cure, and then we'll get to that panel and everything tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm undoing this front end. Got this all nicely flattened off with a high build. You might notice I've got my DeVilbus out. This epoxy, it requires maximum 1.6 tip, minimum 1.2, got a 1.3 in there, and so I've used this epoxy through that gun before, and it sprays nicely. So the Sealy, it's got a 2.0 tip, so just way too big, but yeah, otherwise not too bad. So got the heat on here because I'm basically this front end and around this panel and up this door pillar here. That's what I want to get done today. So let's put the camera to one side, get the compressor on, and let's get to it. Well, there we go. So what this will allow me to do now is, obviously it's going to have to dry overnight, but tomorrow, that means on these areas here, predominantly it's the door frames I want doing, and this around the windshield here, but I can actually get some base coat on. Now, it will need a very light sanding with 600 grit, but yeah, overall, yeah, I'm quite happy. This is getting me to the stage where I really wanted to be. So yeah, obviously this back section, I'll leave this. I'm going to give this a couple of days just to dry off, and then I can get this nicely smoothed out. I can get back here with a high build around this rest of this window and everything. And I may actually, I don't know, I'll see how it goes, but I may do the white on this rear quarter as well. You know, just but I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes. Depends on the weather, depends on temperatures and all of that. So, but yeah, not a bad day today. This has been quite a productive day. So yeah. If you listen carefully, you may just notice something. Yeah, that's right, it's raining. But show must go on. Yeah, this has actually dried really nice. I do like this epoxy. I've used it before. If you look back on the Wolseley project, actually a couple of years ago now, that is what I used on that car there, and it, yeah, does the trick. Anyway, I'm going to grab some 600 wet and dry. I just want to give this just a keying, and yeah, I'm honestly not sure how much I'm going to get done today, but let's have to play it by ear and see what we can do. Something else I really need to address, although that won't be happening today, is that, I don't know if you can see there, but if you look at some of the earlier videos, the gap between the house and the tent was much smaller, and what's happened with all the winds we've had, it's actually shifted everything that way, so I'm not under as much cover as I was. So yeah, do need to get that addressed, but that's not going to happen today. Well, gone over that with 600, and then went over it with a green Scotch-Brite. Same around here and everything. That's still shiny around there because it is actually wet at this point, because I did move the tent a little bit and I got a big splash. So yeah, but it's right round by the step and everything's all been done as well. Well, a little bit of ingenuity there, and there we have it. At least we have the main door frame done. So far along the front end there. Yeah, I mean, overall not bad. Got me moving anyway. And it's giving me an idea of the actual, what the paint is going to look like when it's laid down. And I really like the colour. It's not quite a solid white. It's more of a very sort of vintagey cream. And I do like it. I like it a lot. So I don't know how it's rendering on the camera here, but I do. I like the colour. I like it a lot. So it's actually showing a little bit whiter. At least I can see it through the screen here. It does look a little bit more whiter than it actually is in real life. But no, it's got that nice vintage feel to it. Excellent. Very, very pleased with this. It's actually, I believe, a Mercedes white. So yeah, I will order up some more, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Anyway, really gonna call it quits today. I've had enough. It's mid-afternoon. It'll be getting dark soon. So yeah. But no, overall, I'm happy with the results. Well, it's a new day. It's not windy. It's not really too cold, and I now have super fast hardener for low temperatures. So let's continue. So I've been out here sanding for about an hour, and we've got it as smooth as a smooth thing. That is nice, that. So obviously next step is get this all washed down, get it dried, and then get the epoxy on it, and we can call it good. Now obviously I have not finished the white and everything around this side. Main reason for that is I don't actually have enough white left to do this rear section. So what I'm going to do is I am heading back to the shop next week for a few days. I've got some stuff I need to get the transit finished. So I want to head over there for a few days, and on my way back I'll call in and get some more paint, because the actual paint supplier is kind of between here and the shop, so you know I'm already going to be going over there, so I may as well just save a little gas and just make one journey. But anyway, let's get some warm water and get this washed down. Houston, we have a problem. Don't know if you can see that, but there's actually sleet. Wow. Yes. Oh crap, Sandra's out there. Let me get this lot put away. Well, I guess that's brought this day to a close. Oh, Spinners is out there. Let's grab that as well. Well, let's just leave it for now. Come back out in maybe an hour, see what it's like. Okay, let's try this again then. Well, there we go then. All the way around to this back quarter is now done. Now obviously there is some runs there, I'm not bothered about that. There was just a little bit of paint left on the gun, so I just used it up on this corner here. Basically I'm done up to this edge here, so when I get the van turned around I'll be starting here and then moving that way. But it's been a challenge this week. It has certainly been a challenge with the weather. You know, having flashbacks to the transit this time last year, but we have got there. Now obviously I still have the rest of this in the door frame to do, and I also have the actual side door itself to finish. But as I said earlier, I don't have enough of the white paint. This paint that's on here, I basically just bought a small amount. I bought several different shades. It was actually when I was doing the transit, and I bought several small, basically sample size cans because I just wanted to get a handle on the shade and everything that I wanted. I like this one, I liked it a lot, but not for the transit, so I ended up going with it, one of the other colours. But I've sprayed it out on here, and given the period of the van and everything, I really like this shade. It's got a slight creamy finish to it. So as I said earlier in this video, I am heading over to the shop for a few days, so I will pick up the rest of the white paint when I'm there. In the meantime, I think what I'm going to do is, over the next couple of days, I want to have a really good tidy up. I want to move the van forward, have a good sweep underneath and everything, just get the whole area cleaned again. And then that'll put me in the position for when I return. I can do this in a frame, and I'll also be able to do the side door. And what I'll probably do at that point is I'll just go ahead and remount the side door. So that's the basic plan anyway. We know how my plans go sometimes. But ideally, I would like to get this the door finished and all of the hardware cleaned. I have got some of the little plastic bushes that go into the doors and everything. I've got those on order. So I would like to get basically this side of it all finished off and everything on the door finished. So that all I've got to do is basically I'll be doing the top coat, the lower section on it, which I'll do in the spring. But then obviously I'll be able to turn the van around and I'll make a start on the other side. And predominantly that step over there where it's been impacted at some point. Also get the rest of the cabin finished as well. But yeah, I mean, it's the end of November now. I've got 2 videos, one to go out on, I think it's December the 1st, which is this coming Friday. I do have another video after that. And then this one will obviously be just before Christmas. So I'm not sure whether this will be the last video before Christmas or not. I'm not sure. I might try and put something out, just just a few little quick updates or what have you. But yeah, I'm not sure. So this could potentially be the last one of this year. Obviously, my videos go out 2, 3, sometimes even 4 weeks after the work that I've actually completed. If you'll already seen my ads for my merch store. I'm in the process of putting all of that together. Should have another ad going up next couple of days for mugs and everything. And yeah, it's one little thing about that. The merch store itself actually existed long before the YouTube channel. I have been producing t-shirts, mugs, that sort of thing, and I used to sell them a lot at shows. Used to sell on eBay, places like that. But this is something I have been doing since about 1998. So technically, the merch store is the older part of the. I wouldn't technically call it a business. At one point, I was doing a couple of shows a month, plus auto jumbles and things like that. So it was technically a business at that point, but now it's just a bit of a sideline, just to bring a little bit extra cash in, just to help fund the projects. And yeah, so yeah, there is a lot of new designs going up. I've got VW stuff to go up, obviously American stuff, because that's basically where my heart lies, with trucks and everything. So but I'm working on some old British stuff, minis, got some Land Rover stuff, just, good selection of everything, just trying to cater for all tastes, even got some motorbike stuff. I don't know if I'll get that put up at Christmas or not, but hopefully I will. But anyway, I think this is a really good place to bring this video to an end. Like I say, it's been a challenging week. And I feel like I've gotten a lot of progress made. It's yeah, I'm happy with what I've got done. So yeah, just if you wouldn't mind clicking that like and hitting that subscribe, it really does help the channel. And yeah, so in case I don't see you before, have a great Christmas, Happy New Year and all of that. And yeah, catch you on the next one. Have a good one.